Here is a tract with a major view at Cedar Gap Hollow. We've got a great view to the north. This is tract 54, and it is one of what we call the view tracts out here. About half a dozen tracts that have a tremendous view. So this is kind of an interesting, we've got two videos that we've spliced together. This first one was taken, I believe, late last fall. And so since then, the roads have been widened out. There's been a driveway and a site added to this property. And we spliced that video in as well. So neither video shows the property at its best. This is a late fall view, so you've got most of the leaves off of the trees already. But there is some greenery. In a second, when we pop over to the winter view, we've got no leaves, no trees, no grass or anything. And you'll see that in a few seconds. But in this particular one, this doesn't show the roads properly yet. And then the winter view, there we go, that shows them more accurately. So we're still looking at the same property. This is just the middle of winter as compared to the late fall. The red truck is parked on the the property itself. That white truck you just saw was on the private easement road at Cedar Gap Hollow. So as we go up in the air, we are looking northerly, directly over the property. It borders that easement road along its whole south side and goes straight north. There we go. The red truck has pulled down the private driveway and is parked kind of in the little turnaround site directly on the property. So you get to see the property in the middle of winter, which is a great way to see how the ground lays. So this one, I'm looking at the topo map. This is the highest on the south end at a little over 1,620 feet. And that's what's going to give you your view. The highest point in Missouri is only 1,700 and some feet. So this is over 1,600 feet at its highest point. Slopes down as you go north, and the very north end is at about 1,500 feet. So you've got a total slope of about 100 feet, a little more. But that's over the entire length of the property. So on the topo map, we don't see anything that indicates any kind of bluff or cliff, and I mean we'll be able to verify that as we watch this drone video. We'll go directly over the property. So we're going to slowly move northerly here. We're going to try to avoid the trees, it looks like. I mean, you can get a taste of that view. Like any view tract, once the leaves are out on the trees, the view is not going to be as intense, but if you come out in the wintertime, it gives you a good chance to kind of pick where you want your site, where you might want to maximize the view, and then often people remove some of the smaller trees in order to really maximize the view. So flying northerly, we just had an open area, now we're going to hit a wooded area. I mean, you've got a good mix on this property. All these tracks out here were logged in the last couple years. So like any property that's been logged, especially in the wintertime, they're going to look a little rough for the first couple years. And then after that, once the brush and the limbs and whatnot rot away, the trees that are there are going to grow like gangbusters because they no longer have to compete with that commercial timber that before was taking all the resources, all the sunlight, and all the good nutrients. So these trees are like, thank you so much. We're going to grow like crazy now. Looking north, we're probably over about the middle of the property, I would guess. And I think toward the end of this, we actually go back, if I'm not mistaken, we go back to the summertime, or not summer, I wish we had a summertime video. We go back to the late fall video. Cedar Gap Hollow, very private out here. The wildlife is phenomenal. The deer and turkey population out here is just incredible. We're in western Wright County, so great area for hunting. We're very close to Springfield, Missouri, within about 30 miles. If you get much closer to Springfield, you start to get into the heavily restricted counties like Greene County and Christian County. Very restricted on what you can do. Wright County, not so much. I mean, you've got a lot of freedom in Wright County that you don't have if you get much closer to Springfield. So these tracts have very basic property covenants in place. You can see those on the website, but really not very restrictive. 95% of the people we talk to, or more, find the Cedar Gap covenants to be just fine. It really doesn't restrict what they do at all. I mean, you can build, you can camp, you can hunt. all that good stuff out here. So that's not like a large site or anything. That was just something that the guys did to give a place to pull off the road onto the property. Just a handy little spot to get off the road. Beautiful area. We're excited to get photos this spring and summer. The bonus of purchasing a property right now, based on the not as pretty photos, is you're going to have a lower price now than as opposed to the spring or the summer, when if we are to get new videos and redo this listing, unfortunately that would likely mean a price bump. So here's a good chance to grab it at the lower price. Oh, now we're back to the late fall video. That was kind of an abrupt switch. I wasn't ready for that. And we're just basically tracing about the same path here. We're flying northerly over the property. We just transitioned from an open area to a wooded area. Looks like after the wooded area, it transitions back to an open area. So I mean, you have a mixture out here. If you want to do some food plots to attract the deer, you'd have that option. This particular tract probably has a couple spots where you could do a pond if you wanted to do so. Just kind of a look at the area there. For all the tracks at Cedar Gap Hollow, you do want a truck or an SUV, just because that gives you a little extra clearance that a car doesn't have. And anytime you're on a gravel easement road, you do want to have a little extra clearance in case it's been wet or whatnot. You do cross one small creek bed coming into Cedar Gap Hollow. We've never had an issue at all with that, but then again, everybody that I know drives trucks or SUVs. But we've crossed the little creek bed pulling a trailer too many times, and it's been fine, but just something to be aware about here. So again, in this particular video, this is not showing the road system after it's been widened, I should say. After it's been widened, this is not showing the little driveway and the site or whatnot on the property. This is just kind of giving you a late fall look at the area. Now we're looking southerly. That's Highway 60 off in the distance. Once you get to Highway 60, you're in Springfield in about 30 minutes. Nice tract. So InstantAcres.com, if you've been looking for a tract with a view, especially close to Springfield, there are not many out there. So we're excited about this property. InstantAcres.com, and we can answer any questions you might have.